A new Reuters poll shows President Trump's approval rating falling to its lowest level. This is apparently because of prices and the Epstein files. His approval rating sits at 39%. That is down 9 points from when he took office.
So I'm not saying hold on a little bit, but I am saying it's kind of unfair.
So Fox News is giving Donald Trump some nightmare news vis-a-vis his polling and overall approval rating. It's pretty brutal. It's so bad, in fact, that some MAGA Fox News hosts are openly complaining about it, whining it's not fair. One of them says it's not fair that Donald Trump has such low polling and approval ratings. I can't wait for you to see the cope in real time. It's glorious. But before we unpack all of that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, before I give you the MAGA Fox News cope, I really need you to hear the proper context of Trump's recent polling, because it is truly atrocious. Between the economy and the Epstein files, Trump is really fucking up.
President Trump's approval rating falling to 38%. That is the lowest it's been in his second term. People are unhappy with Trump's handling of consumer prices and, yes, the Epstein files. Kim Strassel joining us this morning. Does this mean Trump's affordability messaging isn't working yet?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, Stuart. And this is a huge wake-up call for Republicans. And if you actually look at Trump's approval rating, it actually has been sliding for a while. And I think what happened here is voters had a lot of optimism that he really was going to turn around the economy. And they've given him, 9 months now, and they've been waiting. But suddenly they've been looking around, and things really haven't improved to the degree that they thought they would on cost of living. Yeah, I mean, gas prices down in some areas of the country. There are some glimmers of good news here and there. But overall, he's not performed, and that's what the polls are saying. He's not lived up to people's expectations. So Republicans, they got a lot of work to do in a short period of time before the midterms.
Indeed. Indeed, they do. Now, listen, I take nothing for granted. I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. I refuse to do so because that just leads inevitably to failure. I am becoming increasingly optimistic, shall we say, right? Hope for the best, expect the worst. But that's gonna just hurt Donald Trump. That hits him where it hurts because he watches Fox News obsessively. It's going to hurt the feelings of a lot of MAGA Republican voters, but it's simply true. I will point out when Strassel says, he's not lived up to their expectations. Who set those expectations? It was Donald Trump. Donald Trump set the expectations that he'd be able to snap his fingers and get this shit done in a day. Remember, he said he was going to cut costs and end inflation on day one. He said that repeatedly on the campaign trail. Now, anybody rational and paying attention would be like, that's really stupid. That's really dishonest. Why would you say that? But Trump was banking on people. Like, he was really exploiting people's hopes and desperation. And he built himself up on the standard that he couldn't possibly live up to. And Democrats like me, liberals, progressives, we are absolutely right to ruthlessly hammer him politically on this. You said it. You solicited votes. Your MAGA Fox News cultists didn't fact check or correct. They didn't say, come on, let's be reasonable. You're not going to get it done on day one. No, they were happy to regurgitate your BS. And now you're suffering as a consequence. And I think that's hilarious. You know who doesn't think it's hilarious? The folks at Fox and Friends. These are MAGA Fox News hosts like Ainsley Earhardt, Brian Kilmeade, and Lawrence Jones. Lawrence Jones is really upset. He's really upset. He says it's not fair that Donald Trump is so unpopular and his approval rating is so low. Check it out. Like, even Brian Kilmeade seems like kind of stunned. Like, why are you complaining about this? You sound like a loser. Which, of course, he is.
A couple things. First of all, I'm not going to tell the American people how to feel because I think Joe Biden made that mistake of saying, hey, it's transitory, you're not feeling it. But it has only been 9 months. And the bill, the big, beautiful bill, it was passed, but it's not been implemented just yet. There's still some time for that. So he's giving people, and then when it comes to some of the energy policy, all of that has not been implemented just yet. So I'm not saying hold on a little bit, but I am saying it's kind of unfair when someone has been in there 9 months.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Even Brian Kilmeade's trying to preempt this. Ainsley Earhardt's looking at Brian Kilmeade's trying to get ahead of him. He's like, oh, don't do this.
A little bit, but I am saying it's kind of unfair when someone has been in there 9 months to put it all on them.
To put it all on. Guys, I want you, folks, let's imagine let's imagine something else. Let's imagine Biden had won re-election, or Kamala Harris had defeated Trump, or let's just wind the clock back. Let's just say 9 months into Biden's one and only term. What were these people saying about the economy under Biden? Were they cutting him some slack, saying, listen, we're still a pandemic we're dealing with. It's only been 9 months. He can't put it all on him. It's not fair. Or were they saying everything bad is Joe Biden's fault, starting 1 minute after he was inaugurated? Actually, they'd be saying, really, even in the lead up, anything bad that happens at any point in any time in the multiverse is the Democrats' fault. It doesn't matter if Republicans are in power. It's the Democrats' fault, right? These people have such a whiny, pathetic double standard. How dare you? Trump was the one who said he would fix it all on day one, Lawrence. Where were you fact-checking Trump? Where were you saying, sir, come on. We got to properly calibrate expectations. That way you don't set yourself up for failure. You can't possibly fix all that needs to be fixed in one day. Let's be honest with people. No. You were eagerly regurgitating that. You were eagerly spamming that out. You helped sell the cult of personality. And now you're upset because you helped calibrate these unreasonable expectations. And now you're upset. But here's the thing. 9 months into an administration, you do own the economy, especially when Trump has done things along the way to actively make the economy worse. We're not 9 hours, 9 minutes, 9 days, 9 weeks into his second administration. We are 9 months, 10 months, more than 10 months into the administration, to be quite factual about it. And Trump has imposed this ridiculous tariff regime. I mean, Trump is unilaterally doing things that are causing the economy and the people in the economy to suffer. It is his fault, objectively. It's 100% fair. But if the shoe were on the other foot, you would absolutely be blaming Biden and the Democrats. Pathetic.
So, basically, the American people are going to decide when they go shopping who's got the better plan come midterms. Right. And everything is on the line. It's really whether the president's going to have 4 packed years of successes or 2, and then a struggle in the next 2 if the Democrats get control of the House.
A couple things. First of all,
they're panicking. They are absolutely panicking about this. It's funny. I'm not going to tell the American people how to believe, but they're wrong and acting unfair. And Donald Trump is perfect and amazing, and everything is his fault. And it's just, you guys got to be nice to him. Be nice to Mr. Trump. Pathetic. So they're referring to this Reuters Ipsos poll. Let's dive into it. Trump approval falls to lowest of his term over prices, and Epstein files Reuters Ipsos poll finds. Donald Trump's approval rating fell to 38%, the lowest since his return to power, with Americans unhappy about his handling of the high cost of living and the investigation into the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, a Reuters Ipsos poll found. The 4-day poll, which concluded on Monday, comes as Trump's grip on his Republican Party shows signs of weakening. The House of Representatives passed a measure to force the release of the Justice Department files on Epstein. Trump had opposed the move for months, while one of his closest supporters in Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene, turned into a harsh critic over his resistance. Trump reversed his position on Sunday as lawmakers prepared to move forward without him. The survey showed that Trump's overall approval has fallen 2 percentage points since a Reuters Ipsos poll in early November. Yikes, right? Not good. So in 2 weeks, it's fallen 2 points. Trump started his second term in office with 47% of Americans giving him a thumbs up. The 9-point decline since January leaves his overall popularity near the low seen during his first term in office and close to the weakest ratings for his Democratic predecessor in the White House, Joe Biden. Biden's approval rating sank as low as 35%, while Trump's first-term popularity fell as low as 33%. So Trump is, again, more unpopular than any Democrat, because even President Biden, it was as low as 35%, but it took him forever to get there. Trump's already in spitting distance of Biden's lowest point within 10 months. Trump has weathered a host of crises during his political career, including multiple prosecutions after he left office that were related to his attempts to overturn his 2020 election defeat. Through it all, he's kept a strong level of support among Republican voters. The new Reuters Ipsos poll showed his approval rating among Republicans at 82%, down from 87%. So he's lost 5 percentage points with Republicans. This year, Trump has been particularly dogged by perception he isn't doing enough to help households with everyday expenses, an issue that also hit Biden's administration hard and contributed to Trump's victory over Biden's vice president, Kamala Harris. Quote, "It's all about prices," said Doug Hay, a Republican political strategist. Quote, "People are furious when they go out and spend money at the grocery store and they can't believe what they're spending." Just 26% of Americans say Trump is doing a good job at managing the cost of living, down from 29% earlier this month, so he's hemorrhaging 3 percentage points. The pace of inflation has remained high by historic standards since Trump took office in January. U.S. consumer prices were up 3% in the 12 months through September, even as the job market has weakened. Some 65% of respondents, including 1 in 3 Republicans, disapprove of his handling of the cost of living. Trump's signature economic policy push has been to hike taxes on imported goods to prop up American manufacturing, but many economists believe the policy has led to higher prices. Expressing frustration over the public perception of his handling of the economy, Trump last week dialed back import taxes on coffee, beef, bananas, and other staples. So again, he's walked it back, conceding defeat. His sagging popularity could make Republicans more vulnerable in next year's congressional elections, though the Reuters Ipsos poll showed voters continue to see Trump's Republican Party as having a better approach to economic policy, which is unfortunate, but that's not entirely surprising because that's been a polling perception advantage Republicans have enjoyed for years. Quote, what we're seeing is probably the biggest test of his presidency in terms of his grip on the GOP, said Mike Ongstad, an independent strategist and former Republican who has not supported Trump's presidential campaigns. Only 20% of Republicans, only 20% of Americans, including just 44% of Republicans, approve of how Trump has handled the Epstein case. Yikes. The Reuters Ipsos poll showed some 70% of poll respondents, including 87% of Democrats and 60% of Republicans, said they believe the government is hiding information about Epstein's clients. That's not good. That's not good at all. So yeah, Donald Trump is getting his ass kicked. Fox News is acknowledging it, and MAGA Fox News hosts are openly bitching about it, and other MAGA Fox News hosts are having to calm the ones complaining about it, like dude, relax. This is disaster. This is a true disaster for Donald Trump, and I would argue ultimately objectively good for the American people. A weakened Trump would be better for the American people and the country writ large. And doesn't guarantee that Democrats are going to win the 2026 midterms, but it makes it ever more likely. So in the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.